Welcome to the Lowcountry Revolutionaries, the podcast that dives deep into the heart of Charleston, South Carolina's vibrant entrepreneurial scene. I'm your host, Bill Ballott, founder of Veritas Exoscience, and each week we're spotlighting the boldest innovators from the Chucktown startup community. These are the visionaries pouring their heart and soul into the businesses that are transferring Charleston into a global hub of creativity and American ingenuity. Get ready for raw, real conversations with the trailblazers shaping our city's future. Let's dive in. I'd like to welcome Brandon Crockett, who's the founder and CEO of Rogan Rye Consulting, a strategy firm specializing in beverage alcohol brands. With over a decade of experience in the industry, Brandon brings sharp insights on e-commerce, customer engagement, and brand storytelling. Welcome, Brandon. How you doing?
I am doing well. Thanks for having me, William. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, I'm happy to have you here. So tell me a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into this industry?
How I got into the industry is kind of a winding road. So I started playing music when I was, 10 years old, middle school.
Oh, wow.
And then this show called Entourage came out on HBO. I would watch that all through high school and was trying to figure out my next move. And I really liked the character Ari Gold. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to combine something that was music related and maybe get into some kind of agency. So I went to school for entertainment event management at Johnson & Wales. Maybe week one, working toward that degree, I was told that I need a law degree in order to be an agent. So that kind of shifted my mentality a little bit, but knew that I wanted to still be active within the music scene. So continued down that path with bands and some tours. But then, so right after school, I gave myself about 8 months to do the rock star thing.
Yeah.
8 months is not a long time. That didn't work out. So needed a 401k, jumped into sales with telecom. Did that for about 4 years, realized that it wasn't fun. It was just, I was talking to CTOs and CFOs and talking about technology, and an opportunity came randomly where it was a dream job out in Southern California. I was living in Boston at the time.
Yeah.
5 feet of snow on the ground. It was cold. It was dreary, miserable. And this opportunity was to go to 4 different cities, find cool bartenders, and convince them to be part of a focus group where we come together once a month, talk about cocktail creation, give these guys bonuses for posting on social media, basically creating an influencer program.
Right.
Before influencer programs.
Before it was like a real thing, like people do it sort of as a job now almost.
This was back in 2015. So basically creating influencers, and the goal of this program was to have them be able to tell the brand story at the point of sale.
Oh, wow.
So when somebody said, "Hey, I want a scotch," they'd be like, "All right, well, let me tell you about Macallan Rare Cask and how it's produced and the master distiller." And then hopefully we're making conversions at the point of sale. From there, I moved over to another side of their business, which was promotional. So Shot Girls and tasting agency in South Carolina. It was a lot of fun in my 20s, chasing down girls and seeing if they have the receipts and if they showed up to work. But leverage that experience to jump over to the brand side, where I worked for a tequila company managing the state, and then a beer company managing the Southeast.
Wow.
So now I had control of 7 states, just trying to get menu placements and product on shelf. And then I don't know, I kind of got burnt out. It's almost, if you really look at it through a macro lens, it's almost like door-to-door sales. You're going into liquor stores. "Hey, will you buy my product?" So burnt out pretty quickly. But then I saw this opportunity of e-commerce, and I jumped over to a company called Speakeasy, where you allow brands to sell alcohol on their website. And then the brand will be able to capture customer data, figuring out who's buying, when they're buying, seasonality, socioeconomic. That really puts the brands in the driver's seat. They're controlling their own destiny. They need to get folks to their brand website.
Yeah.
And then from there, hopefully make a purchase, and the brand can collect that information. And this was all during the pandemic, when a lot of these companies were trying to figure out a way to stay open. A lot of them were shifting towards hand sanitizer, and unfortunately the bars and restaurants were closed, so they needed a new revenue stream. So my timing on this was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moved over to another e-commerce platform called ExcelPay, where I was the director of strategic partnerships. And what I realized that I was doing, and that I was really good at, is basically consulting on strategy. How brands wanted to jump on e-commerce because they saw the value and the customer data, but they didn't really know how to leverage that information or even get set up through the distribution channels and retailers. So I just decided about 6 months ago to pull the trigger on my own consulting agency, which creates strategy, brand awareness, some marketing campaigns, influencer programs that we talked about, work with a bunch of different publications like Food and Beverage Magazine. Somehow I ended up getting Jason Momoa on the cover of that magazine, which is it's wild. But it's such a fun industry because you get to meet people from all walks of life. I've worked with brands that have done 100 million in a year, all the way down to somebody that's just getting started. Actually, I have a client right now. She's never been in the industry, but she is making a transition from 20 years as a housewife and a mother, and she wants to start a tequila company. So we're basically starting from scratch, and I'm helping her put her brand online, shoot some videos, and we'll see what happens from there. So
yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you certainly have the breadth of experience to kind of help people navigate this, because I imagine there's a lot of different parts and pieces you have to pull together beyond just making the product. And that's, that's what I imagine most people focus on: make the product and then it'll just sell itself. And it doesn't sound like it's quite that simple.
No. So, and one of the biggest things I ask people when we start talking about e-commerce, I ask them, I'm gonna ask you, what's your favorite alcohol brand?
Right. So I would say it's probably Maker's Mark. Jim Beam, I believe, is the backer of that. I don't know for sure.
It's funny. I always use Maker's Mark as an example when somebody can't come up with a brand. But how many times have you been to Maker's Mark's website?
Once or twice.
If that.
If that, yeah.
The whole concept behind it is that these brands need to get their brand out there via PR, social media, digital advertisement, so that you have a reason to go to that site. And whether it be an online exclusive or a piece of merch that's offered, or maybe a discount code, so you're getting these folks to the brand website. And then from the brand perspective, they now know who you are, when you purchase, what your seasonality looks like, zip codes. And then from there, the brand can use that information in every other facet of their business. So instead of a brand rep walking into a liquor store saying, here's my bottle, try it, do you like it, will you buy it? They're now going to be able to say, hey, look at this map of all the customers in your area that have purchased online.
Yeah, that's much more powerful, right?
Why am I not on your shelf? Here's the proof that we have some pull through.
Yeah. That's
amazing. So it's not just putting your brand online. It's using that data to then strategically figure out if we need to go hire somebody in another market, or what kind of events we should sponsor, or what the seasonality looks like, or even if you want to test out a new flavor. Launch it online first, see if it does well, because it's cheap and relatively easy to do that stuff online, rather than if you're a national brand. All right, we came up with this new flavor, we're going to test it, we're going to put it in 10 different markets.
Right.
It's very expensive that way.
Right. Yeah, so the test markets are very expensive.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so much fun, and it's weird to think about actually making a difference and an impact in the alcohol industry, but I'm helping mom and pop brands kind of.
Right. Are you mainly working with folks in South Carolina, or are you working with people around the nation, around the world? How far do you reach?
I've worked with brands in the UK. I've just had a meeting with a local Charleston brand, but luckily enough, it all comes full circle
Yeah.
because we have the ability to do things online. And what I was selling right after college was video conferencing before
Oh,
any of this stuff even existed.
right.
So I primarily do most of my business just like this.
Yeah, nice. So you're mostly virtual, and so I have to say you're based in Charleston, obviously, or this Charleston area. So why Charleston? What is it about Charleston? Is it like your family home? Is it the community? What makes Charleston a place to run your business out of?
Good question. So during that first job, the company was actually based in Charleston. And when I was in California and was told that program was ending and they needed to put me back in or put me over in South Carolina, I just thought to myself, I've been to Charleston, I don't know, 10 times over
Right.
the course of that career. It's beautiful. Why not just go back and set up home base there? And then thinking about it, having lived in the Northeast,
Yeah.
having lived in the Southwest, almost lived up in the Seattle area, traveled all over. I really can't think of a better spot.
Right. Yeah, it is
It's got
the
everything we need.
people, the community, the weather, it's not wicked cold like Boston.
No, sometimes I do miss the snow, but when I go back there and visit, and it is cold and the snow is dirty, and
Yeah.
you gotta plow your driveway. I don't miss it. It's so much nicer to be by the beach.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So what's sort of the next thing for you and your business? I know, we talked a little bit before we started. You're on a sort of a trip right now for your hobby, which is a music trip. Are you going to do more music combination with your business, or how's that going to work?
Absolutely combining the two. So one of my first client, do you know the band Bad Company?
Yes, absolutely.
So
I'm
my
old,
first
so
client,
yes, I know Bad Company.
yeah, but they put out some great songs. My first client was Paul Cullen Wines. So he was the
Wow.
bass player of Bad Company.
Right.
So it's really fun to merge his wine brand, which has a guitar on it.
Right.
I just redid his website, it's got like an amplifier in the background,
Oh, cool.
and I'm taking his bottles to this recording studio so we can get some content for his social media.
Oh,
So we're
that's
gonna
great.
have a bottle next to a drum set or have it by the recording console. So it's really cool to be able to combine my passion and my career. And then obviously when there's an event happening or a concert, it's a perfect way to get these brands to sponsor.
Yeah, yeah, I know there's been a lot of entertainers, especially in the musicians, that have gotten into producing alcohol brands and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, combining these two industries seems like a great fit for you and everything.
Just fun. It's
Yeah.
just so much fun. Like I'm really fortunate I get to work in an industry that is so much fun. I went to a conference actually a couple weeks ago where the rapper Ja Rule was just
Yeah.
walking around shaking hands. The year before that, I got to see Nelly
Really?
while I was smoking a cigar with Guy Fieri. Like sometimes I have to pinch myself. Like, is this actually what I do for work?
I know, you're
It's so much
like that's crazy. It's like living like a little bit of a dream. Like, hey, am I on a TV show or a movie here? You never know, right?
and the crazy thing is, you'd really be surprised on how many people don't drink in this industry
Right.
or
Yeah.
drink in vast moderation, only because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and there's so much fun and so much money to be had and made that I think there's a misconception when I tell people, oh yeah, I work in the alcohol industry, like, oh, this kid, he must drink a ton and at the
Right.
bars all the time.
Yeah.
Not the case. I'm up at 7:30 checking emails and just trying to sell more boxes.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're working hard, doing the right things. So what would you advise to other entrepreneur startups in the Charleston area? Where should they sort of start? What are some of the challenges you've overcome or are still trying to overcome that you would advise them on?
So I was actually having this conversation today. Obviously networking is massive because you never know who you're going to meet, and fostering those relationships and just making sure to touch base every quarter, even if it's just an acquaintance. But the biggest takeaway from starting a business is I am so lucky that I have a sales background.
Right.
I can't imagine starting a business without having that skill set dialed in, because if you're a creative or you're an operator, that's great for that side of the business. That's not customer facing, but you need to get clients in order for that stuff to actually come to fruition. So having a sales background or just fine tuning those sales skills. If you're afraid of public speaking or you're afraid to get on the phone, you just gotta overcome that hurdle and just go for it.
Yeah,
Tom
rip
Brady
off the Band-Aid, just do it, right?
Absolutely. My favorite quote by Tom Brady said it, but he heard it from somebody else. The fish don't jump in the boat. You have to go fish. So you just kind of have to take the leap of faith and go get it.
That's awesome. Yeah, the fish certainly don't jump in the boat. And I think, we've got a great community, Chucktown startups in the Charleston area where, everybody tries to help everybody. So it's a very supportive atmosphere to, try these things out, even if you're a little uncomfortable. So that's awesome.
And since I'm brand new to this thing, 6 months in, first time being an entrepreneur, I'm definitely going to be at all these networking events. So the more hands you can shake and babies you can kiss, it's only going to open up new doors for you.
Well, I'm going to try to do what I can to emulate you. I'm not as good as getting out there at the events, but I got to do it. I'm in the same boat. I'm a few months into my business too. So yeah, you got to go shake some hands, meet some people, and be a part of the community. So I'm going to do my best too.
That's really it. I mean, you can do everything virtually, but the most impactful relationships you're going to have are from in person. People are going to remember you rather than your email signature.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate this, Brandon. This is great. I wish you the best on your trip. I know you're going to have a great time. And so maybe we can get together again sometime, do another podcast, or I might see you at one of the events.
Sounds great to me. I appreciate the opportunity.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Lowcountry Revolutionaries. Thanks for joining us as we celebrate the fearless entrepreneurs making wave in Charleston's Chucktown Startups community. I'm Bill Ballott, and it's been an honor to share these inspiring stories with you. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs a spark of low country innovation. Until next time, keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.